Coin market value just hit $4.05 trillion, which is pretty amazing, even though the market is down 0.4% today. While I love that we're well above $4 trillion, there is one big question that everyone wants to know. What do you think 2025 will bring us? Do we have $6 trillion in mind? How about $8 trillion? Would it be possible to go back to $2 trillion? Do we really think that $10 trillion is enough? I really don't know, but man, it's crazy to think about all the cool things that are going to happen. VCs are going crazy pumping everything up right now, and Bitcoin is sitting pretty at over $114,000, and Ethereum is crushing it at over $4,700. Also, XRP just moved up to third place with a price of $3.01. We're down 0.8% in the last 24 hours and 3.7% for the week. Prices have been between $301 and $307. Definitely going to keep my eyes on that one. Now let's look at some absolutely mind-blowing technical analysis. Let's begin right away. That's why Chad Steingraber dropped this bomb. He's saying that XRP, which is only $3.02, is now one of the top 100 assets in the world. That's pretty cool, right? This stuff really excites me. But wait, things get stranger still. He's talking about what will happen if XRP beats gold to the top spot. At first, he used the moving supply to throw out $125 per XRP, but then he came back and said, oops, my bad. The math was messed up. It turns out that each XRP coin will cost around $375. Should we really compare the market value of XRP to gold? It's always fun to work with these crazy numbers. It keeps the dream alive, right? Now here's the deal. If you've been reading my stuff for a while, you know that I think XRP will reach 4 or even 5 figures per coin. There's no way I'm going to act like I know exactly when it will happen, but I do know what will set it off. The full tokenization of all of our old financial systems. The best part is now here. When you tokenize everything and put it on the blockchain, there will be so much clearing, settlement, and payment activity every day that XRP could not only reach those crazy price levels, but also stay there. It's not as simple as hitting a number and falling back down. We are talking about real long-term demand from everyday needs. That's what gets me going, because it has real keeping power. Also, since we're talking about useful things, have you heard that MasterCard and Ripple are teaming up with Gemini tomorrow? Guy, you can get up to 4% cash back, and the best part is that it comes straight in XRP. You'll get XRP tokens in your wallet, not cash or points. I'd be all over that, sure. Yes, I'd sign up right now. And if they're already giving 4% cash back in XRP, how long do you think it will be before our XRP holdings start making real yield? As we all know, that's going to happen soon. Also, Lace Wallet is adding more and more ways to connect. This environment is growing all the time, and I'm all for it. In fact, Brad and I had a great talk about XRP, and it would be fun to do something there. Lace will work with XRP before the end of the year, that side of the aisle, and I would love to do an event together. Let's see if we can get John Deaton and a few other people to come. This is really amazing. How great is it that everything is coming together? After a long time of talking about it, the new Internet of Value is finally being used in the real world. We needed something like this. In this video, Senator Cynthia Lummis talks to the US Treasurer about the idea of a Bitcoin strategic reserve. That's really cool. It's easy to forget that the Bitcoin Act did not need any new money to be spent on a Bitcoin fund. One thing I really want to do is call Secretary Besant, who is very busy, and tell him he needs to make time for me. It's important that I remind you of what we thought. I hope we'll have the chance to do that as soon as possible. I think they will be able to meet with him. But this is what's really making me think. There's really only one way this can work if we want to build this strategic reserve and store digital goods. Take a look. Senator Lummis wants to pay off the bill with Bitcoin. You can't just buy Bitcoin and then dump $5 trillion worth of it on the market at once to pay off your debt. The price of Bitcoin would drop by a lot, and you'd never get the full $5 trillion anyway. So this is where I think it's going. There will be digital asset bonds from the government. You can pay off the debt over time as these bonds mature and roll over. This perfect circle is made. Once your bonds age, you pay off some debt, issue new bonds, and start all over again. You end up with this amazing flywheel where issuing bonds turns into a loop that never ends. The gains help the US government pay down its debts bit by bit while still making money. After giving it some thought, it's really quite brilliant. But look at this. This video is from XRP Las Vegas 25. The Honorable Christian Giancarlo is here. He used to be the head of the CFTC and is now in charge of the Digital Dollar Project. Listen to what he says. This is the one that should be used. They have a lot of ideas now, Chris, about how to get some of these digital assets. Do you hear anything about the different ideas that have been put forward? It's clear that I've talked about this. The idea has been brought up by other people, I know. Is it not possible that there will be a new bond issue in the future that uses digital assets? After this Tuesday, not next Tuesday? I believe it's more likely than not. I believe you will understand it in more than one way. I think it will show up at the business level. I believe it will happen at the local level. And I think you'll see it at the national level in the end. And I also think that one of the things that this president didn't like about the private administration was that the government uses crypto all the time for law enforcement. In fact, they can't even count all the crypto that the government holds right now because some of it is at the state and local level from normal police stops. And the last government would regularly sell off at least what was at the federal level. I don't like that they do that because if they kept it, we might have been able to pay down some of the national debt. So he's determined to keep the crypto that was taken from him. And that's something that doesn't need permission from Congress. They don't have to do that every time. And it's true for all kinds of crypto. Besides that, they're also thinking about how to make something more like a reserve. The difference between a pile of things you just gather, there is something called a resource that you actually use. So our strategic petroleum reserve isn't just used when we run out of oil, as you might think. We also use it when we have enough oil to meet our needs. It's not used for that. It's used for planning and managing money.